So eufyMake dropped an update on their Kickstarter today, and I'm gonna be real honest, it's probably too little, too late. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Sarah, and this is my studio. So for the past year, we have been in this state of UV printer bonanza, if you will, coming to market, particularly for smaller makers or more hobbyists. And there have been a number of models that are coming out or getting ready to debut. The first one to the scene was, of course, the eufyMake printer. Once it got out to market, there was a problem that seemed to be missing from the huge content creator marketing plan that went into place. And that was the fact that this machine smells. I am one of those people who really kind of has to be a little bit cautious with that. I don't talk a whole lot about it on the channel, but I actually do struggle with a number of chronic illnesses, partly related to an immune system that, I don't know, is just trying to me on a regular basis. One of which being asthma and a particular sensitivity to smells and like fume smoke. Between that and then on top of it struggling with other related autoimmune issues like severe dry eye, which has put me at an increased risk of infection, hence why you'll often see me wearing protective eye gear more so than maybe the standard person. Protecting myself was important. So before getting the machine, I saw all of that content, a lot of people bringing it up on Facebook, but then it not necessarily being addressed by Eufy. I kind of set out to how can I make the best system to contain it. And doing a little research, I found a tent that fits the machine perfectly. And then, of course, it's a matter of hooking it up to an exhaust system. Plenty of people were either venting outside or they had additional exhaust systems in place. I personally own the AP2 filter, so I just opted to grab a hose that fit not only the little vent fan for the tent, but also the adapter that I have, because there's a Y-splitter adapter in the back. That way I can access two machines at once with my filter. So that's how I'm managing things. And so needless to say, this machine has smelled, and it has continued to smell despite 6-7 months of use. I would not dare leave that tent unzipped any longer than I have to. In fact, when I go to put things in, I am seriously trying to put things in it as fast as humanly possible. And you could argue, well, you've got it in a tent, it's going to contain some of the fumes, then you need to kind of extract it because the air is not circulating. Valid point. But even doing that, it's still usually not enough to manage it. Even if I have my air filter going for a little while, it still ends up smelling. The smell of it was enough that it made me honestly really anxious and paranoid to try out one of the newer machines that's come to market in fear that it was going to be just as bad. And yes, I am talking about the Xtool 01 Omni printer that is sitting behind me. This video is not going to be about the printer. I am working on content related to that because it was given to me for content creation. I'll be very transparent with that, they asked me to try it, they asked me to create content with it. And one of the conversations I actually had with the PR person was just how bad things were smell-wise with this one. And are we taking ventilation seriously? Because it is a major barrier, and it's something that's going to be important to you guys. And it's something that I'm going to be very straightforward with. And they assured me that is something that they have seen feedback on and they are very, very much taking seriously. And I can report that they did. And in fact, you will notice that while I do have the Omni printer sitting in a tent because I was of the fear that it's probably going to need some form of containment. And let me tell you, finding a tent big enough for that sucker was quite fun. And even then, if I'm running anything that's going to require the doors open, it has to be unzipped. But you'll notice it's sitting there, and it's sitting there unzipped. I am sitting in here completely content and okay with the fact that it's unzipped right now. Now, does it never smell? No, of course not. It's a UV printer. UV ink is going to smell. What I usually find is if it's been sitting idle, I will zip the tent up and kind of let it sit there. And if we've not had any air circulating, the filter's not been running, yes, you get, that leak of, UV ink, UV resin smell accumulating, and accumulates in the tent holds it in. And then the first time I go to unzip it, I definitely notice it. Even then, the intensity is far less than it is with the eufyMake one. And what's really nice about it is all I have to do is turn the AP2 filter on, which is connected directly to the machine. It has a vent in the back where it runs through a filter that's built into the machine. I only run it for maybe a minute and a half, and it clears really anything residual that I could smell. And then I'm good, and I actually am very comfortable letting it sit open. So anyway, no secret across the board, this machine smells terrible, and other machines coming to market have noticed that and have tried very hard to address it. But what about those of us already with the eufyMake printer? Like, what are we supposed to do about this? They had a couple months ago said that they were working on something, and they dropped an update about it today. And when I saw it and I read through it, I was like, oh, this is not going to go over well. This is update 27, and of course it reads, "Dear backers, back in April," so we're talking 4 months at this point, "our previous update gave you a first look at 2 new accessories we've been developing behind the scenes, Exhaust Fan Kit and Purifier P1. At the same time, we mentioned they were planned for Q2. We're 2 months past Q2. We're almost done with Q3 at this point. Since then, we've received a lot of questions about them, and as more and more makers and creators began using the E1 in real-world environments, we realized something clearly. How to make UV printing more comfortable for everyday creative spaces has become one of the biggest concerns for many makers." I think you guys win Understatement of the Year. The eufyMake Purification 6 series officially launches on August 18th. Okay, so we're talking about 12 days from now. Why did it take longer than expected? As more E1 units reached their homes, we received a lot of real-world feedback about ventilation and odor management during longer printing sessions. During longer printing sessions, just in general, I use my machine a very small amount because of how badly it smells. I'm still printing something every day to try and keep the print head healthy, which in and of itself, I would like to point out, I had to replace the print head a little over a month ago, and it honestly was probably dying a month prior to that because I was having to do 2 layers of CMYK. I've had the machine working for 4.5, 5 months, taken very diligent care of it, regularly cleaning it, making sure I'm running something on a regular basis, never ever letting it be without ink or a cleaning cartridge solution. Like, I have taken very good care of that print head, and it still failed at 4 months. Part of me was like, why did it fail it so early? Is that to be expected? Should you be needing to replace a print head like that frequently? Because when I reached out to customer service going, hey, I need a replacement one, are you to expect that? And they honestly still haven't given me an answer of what would be the expected longevity of a print head. I just know that it was out of the warranty, and fortunately I had eufyMake Care, and I could get a print head that way. By the way, if you haven't with their eufyMake Care, you do actually need to physically attach it, like register the serial number with it. You apparently have a 3-month window to do that, and admittedly I didn't do that, and I was very honest with tech support. I was like, I have it, but I failed to do it, and it's telling me I can't. And tech support was very gracious. They didn't have to do that because I assumed that was my own error, not reading the fine print that I needed to activate it, and fully expected I was going to be paying for a full price for a print head. But they were like, no problem, let us hit the reset button, you can re-register, and then you can, submit the print head request like that. And I got a replacement print head in 5 days, so I do appreciate that. And the customer service person working with me was also very gracious. But anyways, this isn't just long prints. This is just all the time that this sucker smells. Rather than releasing a generic add-on quickly, we spent additional time refining airflow performance, filtration efficiency, noise control, and compatibility with different workspace setups. We know many of you have been waiting for an official solution, and we wanted to make sure these products were specifically designed around how E1 users actually print and create. Mixed opinion on that one, because I don't know if you could have recommended a generic add-on, or hey, here's something additional that we can do right now as sort of an interim while we come up with a better solution. I honestly think people would have actually accepted that answer, truth be told, rather than most of us kind of MacGyvering our own solutions. And the community's been pretty good. I know there is a fume attachment, a 3D printed fume attachment for like the filter area that you can do that supposedly sucks things up, or you can do like I have where it's the containment system and then vent the box. So those are 2 systems that I know of in place. I'm sure other people have fume extractors that they're pointing, or you're putting the machine in places where you've got super adequate ventilation, like an almost outdoor environment, which in and of itself creates problems because you want to have the printer in as reasonably controlled of an environment as you possible because they do like a specific environment. They like a specific level of humidity and they like a specific temperature. That's sort of a random aside. Like the Omni printer I ran earlier today, when I went to run the cup, it said, hey, the print head is 25.6 degrees, optimum is 30. Let's turn the heat on and warm it up before we run the print so that it runs the print even better. To which I was like, oh, that's interesting. Didn't know that. Which, by the way, 30 degrees Celsius for those of us living in the Fahrenheit system is about 86 degrees. They have decided we have two different workspaces with two different solutions. Okay. First set, exhaust fan kit for spaces with windows and outdoor ventilation access. If it's placed near a window, you can connect to outside airflow. This kit's designed to directly vent outside. It includes a 1.4 larger diameter centrifugal fan for efficient high flow exhaust based on internal testing compared to other creative tools. Were you secretly over in the eufyMake lab? Were you? You can neither confirm nor deny. Okay. All right.
You talk to machines?
Exhaust system balances strong airflow with print stability. Multiple airflow modes, silent, standard, strong. Built specifically for the E1 with no do-it-yourself modification required. So the launch price for this is $179.99, regular price $199.99. So that's if you have like a nearby window and you're wanting to vent outside. Not that I really want that smell venting out to my neighbors. I mean, I feel like that's going to tick people off, but okay. And then we have kit number 2, which is the Purifier P1 kit for studios, apartments, and enclosed indoor spaces. For users without outdoor ventilation access, we've developed the Purifier P1. Our goal is not simply to circulate air, instead it actively filters air generated during UV printing. Its purpose is not to simply circulate air, but actively filter odors generated during UV printing. And you might want to have possibly checked your grammar and proofread this just before. That's repeating a sentence. Its filtration performance has been verified by SGS with removal rates of 99.5% for TVOCs and 99% for particulate matter 2.5. High-level purification is made possible by a 2.4 kilogram, 6-layer, high-density modified activation carbon system and HEPA 13 filter. 6 layers featuring activated carbon and a HEPA 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not sure where they got that idea, but just saying. Features include 8.5 meter square filtration contact area, as low as 45 decibel operating noise, so slightly louder than if it were the silent mode for the initial one. Automatic synchronization with EV printing activity, real-time filter monitoring. Launch price $629.99 with 1 free filter. Regular price $699. As a thank you to our backers, the E1 would not exist without all of you, from the earliest crowdfunding days through fulfillment, optimizations, updates, delays, everything between. All Kickstarters will receive a 10% subscriber-only discount. Welcome Purify. So is that an additional 10% discount on top of this launch price, or is it this launch price in general? Because if the regular price is $700, the launch price is already 10% off. So I don't know if that means an additional 10%. That's not exactly clear. And then they've put together a detailed post covering the full story, which we could click and see. Got the whole volatile organic compounds. Yep, that's what you smell. This does not mean that the ink is unsafe. In standard tests, it falls within the safe range, green, gold, standard, and all of that. And yeah, sure, I will definitely give you that because I regularly have the Amazon air filter monitor, which monitors not just like particulate matter, but VOCs and all that. And I have stuck it on the tent, or it's been nearby the tent. And it, for the most part, at least, always is green. That being said, I've not actually stuck it inside the tent. I would be really curious what it would read if I stuck it inside the tent. That might be something to do. Still, odor matters. Yeah, odor matters. The fact that I can smell it is still very concerning. If you print in a small room near your desk, you will notice it's more. Some people are just simply more sensitive to smells than others. Okay. I mean, that's true, but I feel like there's a lot of people saying, boy, smells really bad. This seems a little more than just a couple of people. And, that's why we've developed the kit. And then they talk a little bit about, they say it's particularly like the side door needs to stay open. The filter cannot capture everything. And this is where you run into a problem. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to call complete BS on that statement. My machine lives with the doors closed 85% of the time. And yet within that tent, it still smells absolutely horrible. So it's not just me, and it's definitely not, because the doors are open. Doesn't matter if you're running big prints versus little prints. It smells up across the board. And then they're like, some of you have already built your own solutions, adapters, dryer hoses, enclosures, that kind of resourcefulness is what part of makes this community great. That said, these workarounds do come with trade-offs. Well, yeah, they do, but at least they work. Homemade adapters can loosen and leak over time, and mismatch can interfere with the airflow, put strain on the machine's built-in fan. Generic activated carbon, there's typically designed for household arguments. We've heard a number of you that just rather buy something that works out of the box. Not everyone wants to spend the afternoon sourcing parts and testing fits. Yeah, it would have been really nice off the bat. And then that's why they've got this exhaust kit. And then, of course, they start talking about options like this centrifugal force, so basically the fan style. It's engineered to avoid this, to prevent uneven prints or visible artifacts from suctioning. So I guess the concern is strong airflow can disturb the ink as it lands and create uneven imaging. I'm gonna be real honest, that's not been a problem. And then, look, we get to see the filter system going through.
Where have I seen this before?
And then, of course, smart control, which is nice. I will give Eufy that. They have a really nice, robust mobile app. That is something that Xtool is missing, or they definitely need to update, especially with the newer printers, because I get so many dings from my eufyMake machine that the fact that I'm not getting notifications that the machine's doing fine or went into moisturizing mode, that's actually triggering my anxiety a little bit. And then, of course, the availability, and then, hey, here's how long the filter is going to last. So all of that information came out, and for obvious reasons, it's not going over so well. I mean, partly because there's still their DTF roll attachment that hasn't shown up. And people are like, how about you finish actually, filling that in? So as a thank you, we receive the same 10% discount everybody else gets to. Again, my comment is is it an additional 10 on top of the launch price? Yep, lots of not so happy people. So that's kind of what eufyMake dropped and information that's going on, and it really does bring that question is, what do we do? I mean, how many of you guys are going to invest in this system? How many of you are going to stay with what you've already MacGyvered? Or how many of you are feeling I've been screwed over and I may be jumping ship? I'm gonna be real curious how many eufyMake printers end up on the Facebook Marketplace as a result. One of the things I think that really bothers me with all of this is that this had to have been known. There's been plenty of people showcasing the printer at the beginning of last year, talking about how awesome it is, and surely those models had to have smelled. This can't just be there was a change between the beta model and the final model that made things much worse. That being said, I noticed a lot of people that were showcasing it off seemed to be working in much larger spaces, so maybe working in a larger studio space, it wasn't as big of an issue, or maybe everybody who got the machine was nose blind, or they all signed an NDA where they weren't allowed to talk about it. I mean, I guess that is the one perk about having purchased the machine on my own is that I can be as honest and blunt about it as possible. I'm sitting here, somebody with asthma, particularly sensitive to VOCs and particulate matter, who has one of these locked up and does not unzip it unless I have to get in there, and even there, and I'm getting in there as fast as I possibly can. And I have another machine where, yeah, it's been sitting in a tent for a day, I've got some accumulation, let me run my filter for a minute so that that little excess is gone, and then it can sit here and run to its heart content. In fact, I even ran a large bed print last night with it open. I left the room because UV light going, and I came back in and I stepped up to the machine and I'm I don't smell anything. Yes! So excited about that. Again, this video isn't meant to be about the O1 Omni printer. It's just sort of an aside that, hey, I have two machines to compare from, and it is a night and day difference. I will be dropping more content related to that, but I really kind of wanted to talk about this because this made me a little livid, and I think it's probably making a lot of other people livid. If you want to see more content like this, by all means, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and also if you could tap the like button to tell the Eldritch algorithm that this video was a good one, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.